In Salem, nothing is ever what it seems, and this week, it looks like E.J. DiMera is playing Cupid, with a twist. As new Days of Our Lives spoilers roll in, fans are starting to connect the dots. E.J.'s seemingly generous act may be part of something much more calculated, and possibly, even kind. So, what is E.J. really up to with Kat Green and Chad DiMera? And could this surprise move mark the beginning of Salem's newest unexpected romance? Let's break it all down. The latest buzz in Salem kicks off at an elegant charity bachelor auction, an event meant to raise funds and stir up some lighthearted fun. But as the bidding intensifies, one moment shifts the entire tone of the evening. Kat Green, stunning, confident, and increasingly charming to the Salem scene, takes the stage. She's the evening's highlight, and the crowd responds. Bidding heats up, friendly at first, then fierce. And just when everyone expects Chad DiMera to make the winning bid for the woman he's clearly growing close to, another hand rises. E.J. DiMera. The room shifts. Eyebrows raise. And Chad? He's blindsided. This is the same E.J. who not long ago was furious with Chad over a Spectator article that painted him in a controversial light. The same E.J. who rarely acts without a long-term strategy in mind. So why now, and why Kat? To outside eyes, it reeks of classic DiMera drama. Is E.J. stirring trouble? Trying to make a power move? Claim the spotlight? Maybe even sabotage something Chad and Kat were starting to build? It certainly feels that way, until you take a closer look. Because as the dust settles, and Kat prepares for a date with the winning bidder, one detail becomes unmistakably clear. E.J. never meant to take her out. He had no intention of claiming that romantic evening for himself. So why spend big and steal the moment? What's the endgame? It turns out the answer may be far more surprising than fans ever imagined. According to insiders, E.J.'s grand gesture wasn't an act of sabotage, but an unexpected display of subtle generosity. Maybe even, dare we say it, brotherly love? Because what E.J. really wanted wasn't Kat. It was a chance for Chad. Sources close to the story suggest that E.J. orchestrated the entire move to help Chad along in his budding relationship with Kat. Not out of malice or manipulation, but as a thank you. Or maybe even, as a way to make amends. Let's rewind. Chad was the one who found E.J. after the shooting. He stayed by his side through the chaos, through the recovery, through the silence that followed. He didn't walk away when it was inconvenient. He didn't hold a grudge when things got messy. He simply stayed. That kind of loyalty, especially from a DiMera, is rare. And for E.J., it may have meant more than words ever could. So now, in true E.J. fashion, he doesn't just say, thank you. He engineers an opportunity, not a conversation, not a speech, but a moment, a chance for Chad and Kat, who have clearly been circling each other for weeks, to finally be in the same room, under the right circumstances, with the spotlight gone and the pressure lifted. It's classic E.J., dramatic, controlling, and totally unexpected. But maybe, just maybe, his heart's in the right place. And if this little matchmaking stunt brings Kat and Chad together? Well, let's just say, E.J.'s playing Cupid in a very DiMera way. E.J.'s plan doesn't unfold with grand declarations or big public gestures. It happens quietly, behind the scenes, like only a DiMera could orchestrate. With the help of his trusted assistant Rita Leslie, E.J. crafts the perfect atmosphere at the DiMera mansion. He instructs her down to the smallest detail: soft candlelight, a table set for two, a vintage bottle of red, music drifting from the grand piano room. It's warm, intimate, intentional. But what makes the moment so uniquely DiMera is that E.J. has no intention of showing up. Instead, he executes his real move: two separate invitations, two very different stories. Kat receives word that her auction date with E.J., delayed after his recent health scare, has been rescheduled. The location? DiMera Mansion. The tone? Casual. Dinner and conversation. Nothing more. Meanwhile, Chad gets a call. EJ tells him he's not feeling well, but insists someone needs to stop by the house to pick up some paperwork, or perhaps he subtly suggests Chad should check on him. The message is vague, maybe even misleading, but it's enough to get Chad through the door. And that's when the setup clicks into place. Kat arrives first, unsure of what to expect. She's greeted by the elegance of the mansion and a romantic table that feels not quite like EJ's style. Still, she waits, curious, a little thrown. Then, Chad walks in. Confused, guarded. His first instinct is that EJ's pulled some stunt, again. He's ready to walk out the same door he entered through. But then, he sees Kat. Not dressed for business, not running a hospital fundraiser, but radiant, relaxed, and just as surprised as he is. What follows isn't dramatic. It's quiet, tentative. There's a beat of silence before either of them speaks, a flicker of realization that they've both been maneuvered into something they never would have chosen, but maybe should have. It's not a confrontation. It's not a game. It's a moment. An unexpected beginning disguised as a mix-up. And depending on what happens next, it could be the spark that changes everything. At first, Chad is on edge. Years of navigating EJ's manipulations have taught him to keep his defenses up, and this has all the makings of a setup. The romantic setting, the timing, the fact that he wasn't the one who arranged this evening, it all screams DiMera interference. He even says as much, something like, "Let me guess. EJ's idea of a joke?" But Kat, always 2 steps ahead emotionally, doesn't take the bait. She smiles, wry, amused, slightly exasperated, and simply says, "Maybe. But we're here now." That's when things shift. Chad could walk away. He could let his pride or his skepticism ruin the night. But there's something about Kat's presence that grounds him. And let's face it, they've been orbiting each other for weeks. From the long hours spent planning the hospital fundraiser, to quick exchanges that felt a little too easy, to glances held a second too long. The chemistry was always there. Unspoken. Untouched. This moment, however unexpected, gives them a rare gift: privacy. No crowds, no expectations, no social events to hide behind. Just the two of them, and the chance to find out if that spark is real. As dinner begins, Chad lets the edge in his voice fade. He starts asking questions, listening, even laughing. And for the first time in a long time, it feels like he's not carrying grief, stress, or duty on his shoulders, just curiosity. Just possibility. And Kat? She's not just along for the ride. She's engaged, light, warm, but still guarded. She doesn't throw herself into the moment blindly. She reads Chad like a seasoned chess player. She knows the rules, but she's also not afraid to break them if it means getting closer to something real. There's a pause during dessert, where neither of them speaks for a moment. And in that stillness, it becomes clear, this wasn't just a dinner trick. It was the right moment, for both of them. They just needed a push to realize it. And now that EJ's done the pushing, it's up to them to decide if they'll take the next step, or walk away from something that might have been meant to happen all along. It's the question everyone in Salem, and every viewer at home, is quietly asking: has EJ DiMera truly turned a new leaf, or is this just another strategic performance? On the surface, EJ's matchmaking stunt with Chad and Kat looks like a rare moment of brotherly generosity. After all, Chad stayed by his side during his lowest moment, after the shooting, through recovery, through chaos. This could be EJ's way of showing gratitude, right? Maybe. But let's not forget who we're dealing with. EJ has been on a quiet mission to rebuild his image. Ever since the hospital controversy, the power plays at DiMera Enterprises, and the fallout from his fractured relationships, he's been trying, carefully, publicly, to appear different. More refined, more thoughtful, more palatable. Helping 2 potential lovers connect at a charity event? It's the kind of move that makes headlines without making enemies. It's also the kind of story the press eats up. EJ DiMera, romantic at heart? But behind that curated exterior, something deeper may be unfolding. What if this is about more than romance? What if EJ's not just playing matchmaker, he's playing kingmaker? There are rumors swirling in Salem that EJ sees Chad as more than just a brother. He sees him as a tool, a piece on the DiMera chessboard. And what better way to anchor Chad to EJ's larger plan than by tying him emotionally to someone new? Someone EJ subtly controls the narrative around. It wouldn't be the first time EJ used affection and loyalty to manipulate outcomes. And if Chad falls in love with Kat, with the life EJ's quietly constructing for him, he may never notice the strings being pulled. Not until it's too late. So yes, maybe this is DiMera manipulation with heart. But heart or not, manipulation is still manipulation. And if EJ is positioning Chad for something bigger, whether it's a leadership role, a media diversion, or a family alliance, then this kind gesture is just the opening move in a far more complicated game. At this point, nothing has been said outright. There's been no dramatic kiss. No whispered confession. No tearful declaration of, "I've always felt this way." But the moment has been created. The silence between Chad and Kat has shifted. The mood has changed. There's now a lingering tension, not uncomfortable, but unmistakably charged. Like a door that's just barely opened, waiting for someone to decide whether to step through or walk away. The foundation is set. They've laughed together, worked together, seen each other in high-stress, high-stakes moments. Now, thanks to EJ's manipulations, however well-meaning, they've had a chance to see each other in a new light, romantically, vulnerably, without the usual distractions. Insiders say this could be the start of a slow-burn romance, one built not on impulse but on shared experiences and emotional timing. The kind that creeps in quietly, then hits all at once. Or, this could be the beginning of something fast, sudden, inevitable. The kind of passion that's been simmering just beneath the surface, waiting for one perfect night to ignite. Either way, Chad and Kat now stand at a crossroad. Do they explore what's clearly brewing between them, or retreat out of fear, pride, or uncertainty? And looming over it all is the question of EJ's role in their budding connection. When Chad finds out the full extent of EJ's behind-the-scenes maneuvering, will he feel touched? Or manipulated? Will he thank EJ for pushing him forward, or resent him for turning his love life into a boardroom strategy? Because as we've learned time and again in Salem, nothing comes without a price. And even the most romantic setups can have strings attached. This is Days of Our Lives at its best, layered, messy, romantic, and strategic all at once. Don't miss what happens next, because when EJ starts pulling strings, it's never just about love. Subscribe, follow, hit the bell, because in Salem, romance is a setup, and the next twist is just around the corner.